Tom Hanks was very nice, and I had to hump him on stage. It was very strange. Like he was dead, and I was playing Thisbe in that moment, and he was bottom, and he was face down. And the director told me, you need to ride him as you're killing yourself, and like you're humping him, and get the humping going, get the audience laughing. So I was dry humping America's sweetheart, Tom Hanks. Is he sweetheart? That's wrong. He's one of our national treasures. I was humping a national treasure.
Wow.
Yeah, we were both wearing jeans.
Once we were spacemen.
I tend to play weird people, usually aliens and robots and things that don't have romance.
I once didn't get a job where they were looking for a Nathan Fillion type. Once we were spacemen.
Once we were spacemen.
Alan?
Oh, is it time?
We're waiting on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Once We Were Spacemen. Because there was a time where we were not spacemen, and then we were spacemen, and now we are forever spacemen. We could have just called it We're Spacemen, but that would not have been as good as Once We Were Spacemen with Nathan Fillion.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That ended big.
Yeah, it was a little mini stroke at the end, so I sort of garbled. I don't know if I was enunciating as much as I usually do.
That sounded like the last breath.
I've got more, thank goodness. I've got
A death rattle of sorts.
Yeah. Oh, my death rattle. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be like a cha-cha. Is that a cha-cha? I have to check with my wife. I'm gonna guess no.
Alan,
Yes.
I feel safe to say that you have had a doozy of a day.
Mother of God. Well, I'm as you know, Nathan, and as I've mentioned here to all of to anyone who's listened to more of these than the one that they've found here, I've been in the process of moving, and now that runway is coming to an end, and this little birdie's got to take off. And
Now, do you have airspeed at this point, or are you throwing out everything that isn't bolted down so you can get into the air?
it's more of that right now. It's that, and I still have stuff to put on the plane, and I'm like throwing things out, but I still have to pack. People have told me who have moved recently, oh, whatever you do not get a moving company to pack your things for you, because they will do a terrible job and they'll break your shit. So Curtis and I were like, oh, this is smart. Let's pack our things so that we know where everything is. And she's very good at organizing and has every box labeled. And since we know where we're moving to, we can say this goes to this room and this goes to that room, so that when it arrives, there's stairs involved. They'll take them straight to that room. We don't have to move the things ourselves. So it's a very labor intensive process. And the people who bought our house were like, listen, we like it. We want it. Get out. And we said, whoa, we're living here for a while. It's going to take us a little minute. And they said, how about now? And we said, we're leaving whenever you want. And so they set that time, we got to get out fast. And so pack your own stuff. And then I've got other things, leaving a city that I moved here with Firefly. So I'll be back, but I have that. Everything's nostalgic, as everything's like has been cast in like this. I saw a poster of Angeline. I hadn't seen one in a while. I had been running errands to get stuff done, and there was a poster right there on the side of a building, and there was Angeline and a huge sort of side of the building billboard, pink bikini, massive augmented breasts, blonde wig, black eyeliner, probably nothing close to her actual, it's just sort of the classic Angeline look. And I just said, and I've had a little pang. Aw, I had to give her goodbye, you crazy confused lady. But whatever, she might be not unconfused. That might be the best version of her life. It seems strange from the outside, but she's been here since I've been in Hollywood.
Now, we were going to record one of these yesterday.
Yes.
but there was a little confusion with your scheduling. So then we pushed it to later in the afternoon, and then you were still not ready, but you sent us a photo of where you were. And then we said, we'll push it to tomorrow morning.
Yes.
And
yes.
then you texted in the morning and internet's out in your neighborhood.
Yes.
And so we said, well, come to my place. So not right now, you're down the hall from me.
Yes. Yes.
Might be one of the last times we have this kind of a convenience where we can do this when your internet's out.
Yeah, man.
But you
The
were,
internet's never out in New York, Nathan. It's never
but
out
you were
in New
looking
York.
at the wrong clock. You were looking at the clock in your car, which hasn't
Yes.
automatically updated with daylight savings.
Yeah, because it's a rental. Because your car, I'm not driving. Yeah, things are just not working in my favor. Although I have a feeling like when things don't feel like they're working in your favor, it's best, I find, to think, you know what? Because you don't know. Maybe they are working in the best favor. Like you didn't die. Like had you been on time, there would have been an accident. You don't know. So I'm still here. I'm alive. But yeah, things have not been going. And the internet's still out. They woke up this morning. They're like, hey, I got a text that says, internet's out till 2.
Alan, like I said, a doozy of a day.
A doozy of a day, man. God damn. College kids. Hot damn college kids.
Let's take a minute, take a nice deep breath, shake off that day. We have you here now. And there was something. Are you crying?
No, that was just, there it is. That was it was just grabbing. My breath, my exhale was grabbing.
Well, now that I have you,
Yes.
now that we as an audience have you,
Yes.
there was something I was wondering. Alan, if you could only wear one color for the rest of your life, what color would it be?
Blue.
Really?
It would be like a navy blue. Yeah. I tend to wear navy blue. Most of my suits are blues. I borrow from blue. As a Pisces, Nathan, I like the water colors and sometimes a nice green lake or, I have a green tux. It's very nice.
I have a green suit. I wore it to the Superman premiere. I wore all green. My whole team wore green at the Superman premiere. You were there.
Yes, I was there. I saw it.
Yeah, we took photos on the red carpet. That was a treat, buddy. Let me tell you something.
I wore blue. Just, yes.
A treat.
Oh,
There's a little side thing here. I think so much about every choice you have made in your life. I think about every choice you had to have made in your life to end up exactly where you are right now. And then every choice I made in my life and all the experiences and to have this conflux and go boop, and then we meet, we're hanging out, and then we end up on the same red carpet for the Superman movie.
It's really crazy.
It's crazy when I think about that. I'm overjoyed.
It is, and it is. I mean, it's kind of how family works. It's kind of like community works because I met James Gunn through you over at your house.
Yep.
And so I was in his orbit of people that he knew that was around.
You've worked with him a number of times.
Yes. You've worked with him a lot. And I went to you invited me to your not premiere for Slither, which was you're like, it's not a premiere. It's just a showing. It's just a little showing. Just come on. It's just a little showing. And I'm going to share a little something. This is a personal thing. This is an overshare, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Alan Facts.
My overshare is I showed up with a friend of yours, and this is a long time ago. So this is back when I was crazy. And we parked down the street. It was at that cool, like the Vista Theater, I think, over off of where Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset kind of become one. So I show up with our other friend, and it's just we're just coming to see this showing, which there are those in Hollywood.
That's how I presented. I told you it was just a screening.
Which there are those in Hollywood. You can go to these screenings and you're like, it's a small movie, it's a screening. And sometimes they're in studios and they're just in rooms and they're like these nice little movie, like what people have these media rooms in their house. They're like basically glorified those that you'll see a screening in those. And so I'm thinking sort of like that. There's going to be friends. And I smoked marijuana. That's right. Back then it was illegal to do. We parked the car, I smoked some marijuana, and then we walked a block, and I turned as the theater came into view. I was like, oh my God, there's a red carpet. I don't want to go on a red carpet. Do you think they're going to take my picture? I can't talk to anybody. I'm not talking to anybody. And I got to the red carpet, and the press person said, Alan, do you mind having your picture taken? I was like, okay, I'll do that much, but I won't talk to anybody. And I'm just wearing like a leather jacket. I wasn't dressed like I would to a premiere. This photo does exist for people to see me on a red carpet at Slither. I'm wearing a black leather jacket, and I look like I'm a little uncomfortable because I feel like I've just done something illegal.
Why? I have no recollection of telling you, or the reason why I would tell you it was just a screening rather than a premiere. Why would I do that?
You were just underplaying it. It was a different you, Nathan. Back then, you were just...
I feel like I'd want you to be prepared to at least, wear a suit.
Yeah, no. No. I mean, I don't know what you told me. I wasn't wearing, a t-shirt and shorts. But I was just wearing just a leather jacket. And it took me a while. I saw the theater and walked away and did like a couple of blocks, just to breathe a little bit, because we had just gotten high. And it's not a good idea. I can't imagine to like be under the influence on a carpet.
I have no idea why I would have done that. I have no clue.
Some people do that. Some people, that is their mode of operation. They're very good at, they have marijuana, and it's sort of like their co-pilot in life, and especially in stressful situations like maybe a premiere or things like that, or interviews. I was never that guy. It was a purely a recreational situation for me. I could not have attempted anything that required any higher functioning, even answering simple questions like, why are you here? Or what do you think about the movie? Or
why didn't you wear a suit?
Yeah, why are you drooling on yourself, sir? Yeah.
I'm gonna retroactively apologize. I have no idea why I would do that.
It ended up being a hell of a night, and I loved the movie. I don't think it had to do with me being high. I've since seen it again and again. It so caught me off guard. The humor was just, it's James Gunn humor. It was hysterical, and you were perfect in that role.
Oh man, thanks.
The moment where you flip the board over, and you got like an octopus for the monster. Like, this is going to be him. It was all very, very funny. There was so much humor in it. And Elizabeth Banks, and yeah.
So, Alan, you are, for me, a celebrity encounter. One that's lasted quite a long time through a lovely friendship.
So, like, if this was an alien encounter, you've been on my ship for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been
probing.
I've mapped it like the ocean floor.
But as far as celebrity encounters go, what has been your most bizarre or weird celebrity encounter?
Oh, I feel like I may have talked about this I talked about this with somebody. This is this thing, man. I'm turning 55 next week. Stop me if when I talked about that Shakespeare thing I did. Did we have somebody on here who I was talking to somebody who also did it?
I think you spoke about the Shakespeare thing when we did Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner's podcast.
Okay.
Dropping names.
Right. Dropping names. So if you didn't watch, sure, I can say that here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this was a bizarre celebrity encounter. I was caught off guard. I was to do a stage reading, another thing that you do, mainly in New York. They tend to be small things. They can be big things, but I got the call from my manager at the time saying, hey, remember you've got that thing coming up this weekend or tomorrow. I was like, what is it? What do I have? It's like, you're doing Midsummer Night's Dream for the Los Angeles Shakespeare Company. I was like, why would I do this? I was so busy at the time, and I was like, okay. And she said, Tom Hanks produces it. I was like, oh, that's why I said yes. Okay.
Name drop.
And that's all the information she gave me. And I showed up, and Tom Hanks didn't just produce it. He was there, and his wife was there, and she was in it. And it was Billy Crystal, and it was Martin Short, and it was
Bill Shatner.
Bill Shatner was there. It was so Cedric the Entertainer. Gillian Jacobs was there. Oh, what's his name? He may have won an Oscar for, anyway, lots of people. And I was in a dressing room with Tom Hanks, Martin Short, myself, and William Shatner. And it's like it's like a long counter with a mirror, and we're all there like getting ready before the thing going. I'm just looking in the mirror, looking around like, oh my God. It was
That must have been just surreal.
it was surreal. I didn't know. I was beside myself. I wasn't myself. I was, like where you can't bring yourself to the room because you sort of then become the polite version of you, and you're just being nice to everybody. And although I stepped on, like William Shatner, I was like, he said, my back is, I have a little problem with my back. And I said, oh. And he said, because when I'm not acting, and he took his hands, it looked like he had two joysticks in his hands, and he put them right in front of him, sort of parallel to one another, and then shook them. I'm doing this. And I went, you're a fighter pilot? He said, I'm riding horses. I was like, sorry. Oh, those are the reins for the horse.
No, that's this. You want this, Bill. You want this.
You gotta do this. Yeah. Sorry, Shatner. You got your mime work needs work. But the funniest part about it was very odd to be in that room. I guess that is for me a weird one. The best part about it was they were all very nice, and that Martin Short had brought a trunk of costumes from his home that he was just pulling from. He's played Puck, and he was pulling all these things out like, I could wear this, I could wear this. And it was stuff like Jackie, remember that one character he did, the albino, who's the Jackie something Jr., and he did it on SNL, and he had this weird laugh. Anyway, there were costumes I recognized from SNL. Then he had a full bodysuit that was nude colored. This man's in his 60s at the time. Nude colored bodysuit, and it's got nipples painted on it and a penis and balls. He's like, I'm going to wear this. And it came from his closet. That's what he has in his closet. And I have a bunch of Navy stuff, and he has nude bodysuits. And on my phone, he saw my dog, Aunt Clara, who's a cockapoo. And he's, oh my God, is that a cockapoo? And I said, yeah, it is. And he said, I just lost my cockapoo. He died. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He said, thank you. I said, was he sick? And he said, he was so sick, the worms in his shit had type 2 diabetes. And I was so blown away. He just had that right there. It's such that he just has that joke ready to go. His dog really did die, but he still has a joke about how sick his dog was. That's one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. That was like, wow. Yeah.
That had to be surreal.
It was. Tom Hanks was very nice, and I had to hump him on stage. It was very strange. Like he was dead, and I was playing Thisbe in that moment, and he was bottom, and he was face down. And the director told me, you need to ride him as you're killing yourself, and like you're humping him, and get the humping going, get the audience laughing. So I was dry humping America's sweetheart, Tom Hanks. Is he sweetheart? That's wrong. He's one of our national treasures. I was humping a national treasure.
Wow.
Yeah, we were both wearing jeans. I don't know how I saw that go on, but that's how it went down. When I left that morning, I didn't see that happening. How about you, Nathan? You've met a lot of people.
Yes. Okay. I love entertainment. I love popular culture. I love that I can not only be a fan but I can participate, and so now I'm a fan from up close. I've got to meet wonderful people that I've been a huge fan of since I was a wee lad, or even the young folks coming up who are so fantastic, and I'm so impressed, so wildly impressed. But when I was a younger man, I first moved out to Los Angeles. I got a small part in a film called Blast from the Past. And one of we were just going to do a table read. I went to a building down in Santa Monica somewhere and found the room. And I think I was one of the first people there. I didn't want to be late. I was one of the first people there. The tables were arranged in a bit of a horseshoe, and then off to the end of the horseshoe was a table of coffee and donuts and croissants and muffins. And I remember I had a thing for crosswords at the time. I was just biding my time, waiting for things to start by doing a crossword. And somebody put their stuff down right next to me, and I finished the word I was writing, and I looked up, and there was Chris Walken
Name drop.
looking down at me. And there was a role he played in a movie called The Prophecy, where he played like an evil angel. And at one point he
played
says,
David, I think.
yes.
Christopher Walken portrayed the Archangel Gabriel in the 1995 supernatural thriller, The Prophecy.
He says, look into my eyes. And has this close-up of his eyes. He's got a little bit of a wisp of eyeshadow, but it's super creepy, spooky. This look he gives gave me chills when I watched the film. Those were the eyes looking down at me. And I was frozen. And he was frozen. He didn't move. He just stared. And I was caught off guard. I didn't know what to do. And I think it was a long moment. And then a woman on the other side of the table said, oh, Chris Walken, we have a mutual friend. Her name is Susan. She did makeup for you on such and such a project. And as she's speaking to him, he starts to walk around the tables and eventually he's face to face with her, and she wraps up her story and says, that's how we know each other. So our mutual friend, Susan. And he looks at her, doesn't say anything. He looks back over at me again across the tables, and I'm locked still, and doesn't say anything. And then he opens his hand towards me and opens his mouth as if to say something, but doesn't say anything. So I said, I'm Nathan. He said, Chris, nice to meet you. Looked back at the woman and then walked away toward the croissants and said, so how's Susan? And it was just a very strange, I felt like time slowed down for this whole thing. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. It's very unusual. Now, Chris Walken turned out to be incredibly charming, and every line out of his mouth got a laugh, and he was always surprised.
Wow.
Oh, well, I guess that's funny. He just look around and go, oh, all right. Guess I'm hilarious. Very charming.
An alien. Do you think he's an alien? Maybe.
I don't know. I think he's some kind of savant because I am always riveted by his performance, but he's never a caricature of himself. Anyway, we can talk about acting, but what a weird encounter.
Yeah, man. That's
the one I really enjoyed the fact that I was able to have it.
Yeah, that's he's legit. There's a thing everybody says now. He's an icon. He's an icon.
Yes.
He's
Alan?
iconic. He's iconic. Yes.
What's the worst haircut you've ever had?
I was going to ask you that question.
Really?
Yes. Isn't that weird? I was like, would he? I mean, I was going to word it differently. I was going to say, who gave you that haircut? But
Whoa,
anyway,
this is not the worst haircut I've ever had. I quite like this one.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Because we're in the same place, there's a delay.
I've been wearing this for almost a decade now.
I'm sorry. I had a haircut when I was in middle school. I don't know if this got up to Edmonton. So like 12 or 13, I got the spike. Did you guys get the spike? Did you do the spike?
I did spiky hair, yeah. My hair is naturally spiky. My hair stands up when I cut it short. So I just put remember gel? I put a little gel in that. Oh, yeah. I had the old Corey Hart hair. But his was more messy. He had a messy, mine was like a porcupine. It was like a hedgehog. It was all even rows of spikes. And
yeah, he was tousled. He had a tousled look.
Yeah.
The spike there was stuff sticking up, but it was kind of like wings. So you had the sort of butt cut wings going down the middle, and then right down the split top where they put the butter in, the split top, then there's like little porcupine hairs. They cut it so that the hair naturally won't sit down somehow. Yeah, we would go I got that at Supercuts. That was not a salon. We would always go, my mom would always take us to Supercuts, and they would cut our ears, man. It was.
Ears bleed too.
Yeah. It was, throw that one in the butcher's bin. It was like there's pieces of our ear left behind. But I got that, I was bloodied, but I had that haircut. And I think it did not look good on me. But that's, so I would say that was probably my worst.
How long was the back at this point?
It was, it was respectable, just a little off the collar.
Did you ever have a mullet?
No. Once people started getting the mullets, I went new wave.
Yes, that was about the time. Yeah, yeah. Alan, mullets were a big deal in Canada, and
I think they still are.
I've always had a lot of hair.
You still do, man.
And at this point, also the body wave was in, and my mom would give me a perm, right, and that would make your hair kind of wavy, right? This kind of loose body wave perm. Boy, it stunk though. It had a real stink to it. And the first week, those curls were pretty tight. They had to loosen up a little bit. But I worked on it, and I grew out a mullet when I was in high school. And so when I graduated, I had like a full-on mullet. It's probably the only photos of my hair was pretty much graduation. Because my dad wasn't fond of that haircut and said, I'm not taking any pictures of that. And I'm sort of kind of happy too, because there's not that much blackmail material. But I'll tell you something, my mullet was majestic, like a lion's mane. And because it had a little bit of a curl to it, it had a little bit of a bounce to it, like a shampoo commercial. But I could take it and I could tie it in a knot under my chin. Like it was, and heaven forbid if I went swimming, it went partway down my back.
What the hell?
When it was all straight. Yeah, I had a lot of hair back there.
Oh, I wish you had lots of pictures of that.
I don't think that was my worst haircut, though. I still wanted to kind of experiment, I think, with long hair. I went to university. Mm-hmm. So a couple years of college with that hair. And then I went to university, and I decided I'm going to let it all rock long on top. And I just went in with clippers, and I shaved the sides and the back like a samurai. Like someone would wear a top knot, I guess, like a little.
Yeah.
And I did a play where it worked out really well for me because I could change my hair in a couple different ways. And that hair, there's a little bit of record of it too, because I had pretty long hair like that when I went on One Life to Live. I had some pretty long locks.
Yes.
And there were some other guys on the show who had very similar haircuts though. So it started to get a little like someone's got to shift. And
Rochambeau for the hairdos.
And I volunteered, and I said I didn't have a lot of confidence in this one in the first place, so I let him cut it all off, and I was quite happy after that. But I think that was pretty much my worst haircut, was when I had the idea to shave it all underneath, yeah.
I had a shaving mishap haircut. I got clippers for Christmas one year.
Oh, no.
And so I was allowed to cut my own hair. So I would always just shave the back and the sides and keep them high and tight, and then I would let the top. So the one that was your worst haircut was sort of how I would rock it all the time, because I was new wave. And
did you fade it at all, or did you go hard, have like a level, like a?
I had levels.
Yeah, that was very 80s.
Blended.
That was very 80s.
It was, what's her name, man? It was the he said, "Shut up." He said, "Shut up." That's what I would sing while I cut
Voices
my hair.
Carry.
Yeah.
Till Tuesday, wasn't that?
It was Till Tuesday, but yeah, her name is. What do you say, computer?
Voices Carry is a song by the American rock band Till Tuesday, featuring lead vocalist Amy Mann.
Thank you. She's here in LA. I see her around. She's out listening to my house. Obviously, we don't know each other because I don't know her name. Anyway, I was with these clippers one time, went a little too high, and then it buzzed. And then I was like, you know what? Oh, I'm into now the top of my head. So I just went, I'm going to cut off all of my hair except my bangs.
Whoa!
Terrible idea. Yes. So I cut off, it was all shaved except my bangs. And I thought that would be really new wave and cool and good for skating. What it ended up doing was the bangs of my bangs would just sort of curl up, and my friends started calling me Quail. It wasn't good, because that's a good hunting bird right there, quail. But they've got that one little thing that comes down. So I look like that bird.
But that's the back end of the bird. So you're saying that your head and face was the back end of a quail.
That's where the eggs come from. That's where the magic takes place. No, I ended up cutting it off soon after the name arrived, Quail. I was like, fuck, I'm not doing that. And I cut it off, and then I just looked terrible. I looked so young, and I had a problem looking super young. Yeah, I looked terrible. It was a tough time for me.
How long did that haircut last?
Until it could grow out.
No, I mean the quail one. How long did you suffer through the quail?
It probably only lasted a couple of weeks before I got rid of it.
All right, we'll give it a good go.
Yeah,
Give the old college try.
Yeah. Well, that was good. But I was going to ask you that question. I did think
That's
of that.
so
I was like, I
weird.
need to start asking Nathan questions. And that was
All right.
that
Okay.
was-
Well, here's your chat. Do you have another one? Do you have another one?
yes, I did have another one, but I wonder about this, Nathan. When the music you like,
Yeah.
what is it about the music you like? Is it that I feel like we like music differently? What is it about music that you like? Is it the moment? Yeah, go.
I love catchy tunes. I love clever lyrics that are rhythmic, like when people play with the rhythm of words.
So rap, go on.
I'm going to tell you, and it might be because I only have the hearing in the one ear. I don't benefit from stereo the way other people do. I have a hard time understanding the words in a song, pulling the words out of the music, pulling that filter, having that lyric versus I never know what they're singing about.
Yeah. It's real easy now when you play, if you're playing it off of like you can just follow it along, one of the streamers, just follow along to the lyrics. I benefit from that a lot because some of the ones I've never known the lyrics. There's like always a part that I'm like, what am I saying here? This isn't it. What are they saying? So catchy, just sort of good sounding music. Sometimes
I like rhythms. I like songs that energize me. I like songs I can sing along to in the car. I have a driving list. Like I have a driving list. I have a list of songs because I want to try to learn how to sing harmony. I always end up singing the melody, but I want to try to learn. So I got some songs in there with some melodies in there.
All right. That's cool.
Alan,
Uh-huh.
why should you never get into a relationship with a tennis player?
I have a feeling it has something to do with balls. This feels like the setup for a joke.
It's because love means nothing to them.
Thank you for that piece of advice, Nathan. Now I know. Now I know. Do you like rap music?
There is some rap I really enjoy. Like Eminem, he is a craftsman. He is an artist. He is a wordsmith. The way he plays with, like we were talking about, the rhythm of language, like a brain scratch. Like if you have an itch in your brain, that scratches it. You go, yeah, right there, right there. But some of that's, and here's the dichotomy though. Some of that music, I feel like an old man. It's like, it all sounds the same to me.
Yeah, it's a lot
stuff.
of beats. It's a lot about the beats, the rhythm, and yeah.
And there's this new style where it's not much about melody. It's kind of more monotone. And it's like, okay. In which case, I would love to be about the poetry of it. But again, I have trouble pulling out the lyrics.
I recently realized, I became a little concerned. I tend to like white rappers, and I'm bothered by it. I don't know what it means. I don't know. You like Eminem. I'm glad you're on the same page, but it just doesn't seem right. It's like 3. I can name 3 white rappers, and I think that's at least one too many that I'm into. And there's a guy, Professor, and he's a goof, and he's very good, and he's funny. But I was listening to him, and I was really enjoying him. Like, oh no, this isn't, because there's Eminem, and there's him, and then there's the Streets from England. This was their early stuff, only their early stuff. But anyway, yeah, I got a little concerned. So
You want to branch out?
Yes. Yeah, I like Tyler, the Creator, but then I bet there's somebody out there listening right now who goes, Tyler, the Creator isn't even a rapper. But I think he is. I think he is, actually.
On the topic of music,
Mhm.
if you were with trusted friends in a safe environment and people started singing karaoke, what would be your karaoke song? Do you have a go-to song that you would love to sing?
I do. I mean, I don't. I do. I used to always sing Are You Lonesome Tonight by Elvis, because it has that section in it where he has a speech. Everybody says the world's a stage and we each must play a part. Fate had me playing love with you as my sweetheart. You acted your line so cleverly, never missed a cue, blah, blah, blah. Then came Act 2. You seemed to change, you acted strange. Okay, sing along with me. Anyway, when you do karaoke, nothing is there. So you can say whatever you want.
It's your chance to improvise.
Yes, my chance to improvise, but you can, because it's always been song tonight. So it's just like, sweet Jesus, I have been drinking far too much, or I ate a big lunch, or something physical, or I can talk about the audience members or whoever's there with me, that type of thing. What's going on in the world? It's just an opportunity to do something other than sing, because I'm not going to really impress anybody with my singing.
Okay,
How about you?
That's fair.
How about you? You worked in a karaoke.
That you're absolutely right. One of my part-time jobs when I was working my way through college was I was a karaoke host. And at the time, my song, my big number was Bobby Darin's "Beyond the Sea." But if I am going to be like among friends and I want everybody to have fun and sing along, there's really only one choice: an incredible crowd pleaser.
I Want Your Sex by George Michael.
That's the one.
Is it Come On Irene by what's
Close. It is Sweet Caroline.
Oh, wow. Neil
It
Diamond.
never, ever fails. It starts really low. And people go, oh, here we come. Okay. And then by the time you get to that chorus, it is the big build and the big build. Yeah. By the time you get to that chorus, everybody's with you.
Is that the one that starts with Money Talks? That's, yeah. It is.
No, that's Forever in Blue Jean, and that's a good
that's
one
Forever
too. It's got a good real bounce to it. But no, the Sweet Caroline is it's even slower.
I love Neil Diamond's some of his music. He's very cheesy. I love he's in the cheese. He cuts deep. What's that song? This is a song for me right now, man. The one about somebody said that there was a frog. There's a story. What is it? About a frog who dreamed of being a king and then became one. It's all about LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York's home, but it ain't mine no more. I am, I said. But he has a thing about talking about the wings of a flea, and fleas don't even have wings. He doesn't care, man. He doesn't need to. He's Neil Diamond. He goes beyond it. He does I saw him in concert. He did 6 costume changes. A lot of men are afraid to do that many costume changes in a performance. Not him.
That leads me to another question. What is the best concert you've ever seen?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I like them all for different reasons, and I haven't seen enough of them. But I saw Pearl Jam right when they hit.
Ooh.
And I was so blown away. And they came to a small theater in Dallas, and I was right on the floor, and they were right there. And he was young, throwing carrots out into the audience and climbing up the proscenium and going nuts. And he sounded exactly like his music, exactly like the album.
He climbed
And
up
it
your
was
what?
The proscenium, climb up the wall.
Oh, gotcha.
He was out there, man. Eddie Vedder. Yeah, it was great. So that was a great concert. I was breaking up with a girl, and it was like a messy breakup. She wasn't into me breaking up, and I'm like, I don't know, this just not working. It's just not working. She's like, I got 2 tickets to go see Pearl Jam. And I said, maybe we could make it work. I was 19. Listen, I was 19.
Let's give this one more shot.
I think I love you. And we went. I remember
I think I love you, Eddie Vedder. I mean, sweetie.
Thank you, Jenny, whatever your name. The rest of your name is. We know. I know, but I'm not saying.
You remember I told you a story about...
Who was yours? We got to tell me who was yours.
I'm getting into it right now.
This is it.
I'm
Okay,
cooking.
yes, okay.
This is a story. This story's cooking. You remember I told you about that friend of mine, Amy, in New York, who I want to say Tennessee is where she's from, but they made fake raffle tickets and sold them in the rich neighborhood. I remember I told you that story.
Oh, yeah. It made a ton of money.
Out of the church office, they made
thieves,
raffle
criminals.
tickets.
Going to hell.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Amy also introduced me to an artist by the name of Martin Sexton. And I had just moved to LA, and I don't know how I got wind of it, but Martin Sexton was playing at the Troubadour. The Troubadour is a Los Angeles staple. It is an iconic music venue. And if you are fortunate enough to see a really cool band there, it's so small. It's so small.
Yeah.
It's a very intimate affair.
Yeah.
And I grabbed a ticket. It was just me. I just went by myself. And I went. And at the time, I think I was getting a little disillusioned with Los Angeles. I had just moved out here, and I felt like, people aren't really like they are on the East Coast. They're not.
LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York's home, but it ain't mine. I'm going. Sorry, Nate.
That's that song you liked. Mm-hmm. I just remember how he got the entire audience to participate in a very meaningful, soulful, heartfelt way with my absolute favorite song of his, which is Black Sheep. He had the whole crowd singing, and he encouraged them, and the more he encouraged them, the louder they got.
See, like Sing My Angels, Sing My Angels.
Yes.
I saw him in concert too.
I've seen him a couple times since. Yeah, I've seen him a couple times since. It's always magical and sometimes moved to tears.
Yep, I wept.
Nothing can match that first time I saw him at the Troubadour. I was beside myself. It was incredible.
And if you at all identify with a black sheep kind of persona, and I think maybe some of us do in different times of our lives, whether we are or we aren't. Anyway, that song Black Sheep is pretty great because it's like, I got to do my thing. I'm going to go out, do my, break out of my own.
I have a question.
It looks like you've got one right at the tip of your mustache.
What's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell?
Yeah. What's something? It doesn't have to be. I kind of hate the what's your favorite question because then you have to eliminate everything else.
I can think like that. My enemy's tears is my favorite taste.
Amongst your favorite smells, like what's a smell that you go, that's so good?
Oh, the woods. You know, like the ground and the woods and the water and the man. I got a lot of that when I was living up in Vancouver.
Yeah, some clean nature smell.
Yeah. It just grounds me.
Yeah.
I love that. But like all nature smells, that just I love scents, and I love how sometimes you can be walking and you'll catch a scent. It doesn't happen as much now because scents have changed over time. But there was a time when I could pass like there was I remember passing by some like 13, 14-year-old girls one time, and I caught the smell of perfume and it's like launched me back to my 13s. And I'm like looking at this girl, Kara, like that's what she smelled like, that it's like time capsules are caught in scents. There's a smell that I get. It's an East Coast smell, but I'll still catch it in different, like an outdoor smell. I went up between my third year at school. I went up to New York Stage and Film up in Poughkeepsie, New York, and I would run every morning. And it was such a big time for me. I was meeting all of these playwrights, and I could tell it was the beginning of something. It was actually the beginning of what became my theater career in New York. And I was meeting the right people. And the smell on my run in the morning to just like de-stress, I'll smell that and it just launches me back there to that time where it's just like all possibility and promise and hope and fear and joy. Like, can y'all be caught up in a smell? That or like a hamburger. Love a good burger,
I'm going to give you 3 of my favorite smells.
Okay.
One is I like the smell of sunscreen. There's a couple of sunscreens. It could be Hawaiian Tropic. It could be like a copper tone. There's some sunscreens I like when I smell them because they remind me of being on vacation, being somewhere tropical. I'm probably on the beach. If I'm wearing a sunscreen, I'm probably over doing something outside. I'm probably going to. So when I smell sunscreen, it reminds you of vacation and it makes me feel good. I also like the smell, kind of like yours, nature. It's a lake, but with a little bit of gasoline. When you're on a motorboat on a lake, you're probably going to be water skiing. You're probably going to be wakeboarding. You're probably just going to be fishing or just chilling out in the lake. So there's like, oh yeah, it's all nature. It's all this. It's all that. Did I smell gas just now? I love it. Put that cigarette out. And then the last one, and this one might surprise you. In New York City, when it's real hot and you're walking down the sidewalk and then you step on what is some like clearly more tar than asphalt, and it's kind of soft under your feet because from the heat of the day. And there's that kind of a tar smell that comes out of that particular type of roadway.
Yeah.
That smell reminds me of some of my best times in New York City.
Wow. Yeah, I think you might be able to pick up a little bit of that over at the La Brea tar pits, man. It's just coming out of the street.
That stuff stinks.
You don't even have
I'm
to
not going to lie. That stuff stinks.
Actually, yeah, those are some old dino farts.
I was there just recently. They're closing that down, you know that?
No. How do you close down a tar pit?
The La Brea Tar Pits Museum. You guys, if you're in the Los Angeles area and you have a chance, I really like this museum. It's really beautiful, but they haven't had a renovation in decades. So they're going to shut it down for a couple of years and they're going to renovate it and then they're going to reopen it. I'm going to miss it. It's a neat little spot.
Yeah. It's wild around the museum. So you've got right there's Wilshire Boulevard. It's a big street, thoroughfare here in Los Angeles. And there's little like construction A-frame things set up because there's still like tar, heat, and steam and stuff coming out of the road because it's still
bubbling tar pit.
It's still prehistoric. The tar pits are over there, but under the road is like.
Yep. They wanted to dig it up and fill it in and develop it. And someone said, whoa, 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 whoa. It is a treasure trove of fossils in there, guys. Like extremely well-preserved bones. Like we can't just fill that in. And somehow science won. And now they still pull stuff out of there.
Go science. How great. They rarely win. It's nice they got one.
I don't know if you can believe this, but I have another question for you.
Yes, what's your question?
Do you wash your legs in the shower?
Yes, I do. That's an easy one. Do people
Some people
not?
neglect their legs. They kind of figure like, oh, the water takes care of it.
What? I don't think that's...
You don't know this?
There's so many things attached to the legs. I mean, the feet and the whole top part of the body. They right on top there. And there's the groin area. There's a butt right there.
You gotta wash the top. You gotta wash there.
Yeah, but then, I mean, why not? You're in the vicinity. You can just kind of, interesting.
I guess if you're in a shower stall and it's really small, I guess you could be excused for, I don't know, maybe rub them together though. Maybe just rub your legs together.
Yeah, like a cricket. Make a song.
Make a cricket wash.
I did not know people didn't wash their legs. Nasty.
And when I found that out, like I often think if when we get to a certain point in a relationship, I'm like, I want to know. And maybe I can help you with that. Like not help you wash your legs, but maybe just help you with some knowledge. Drop some leg washing knowledge on you.
Yeah, it seems like it's not a bad idea to wash your whole body when you get a chance. When you're washing it, do that. I mean, I guess I could, I don't know. I guess guys, but definitely women, I don't know. That's weird. I to all the people who agree with me, we're the same. Because it seems strange.
Do you sing in the shower?
I make lots of, I've had my wife come in and go, "You're so loud." Because it depends on what's going on. Like right now, there's so much going on in the whole, did I bring it back to me moving? Yes. There's so much going on that I have to talk to myself to tell myself what's going on and that it's going to be okay. And, you got to do that. Oh, no, wait. Oh, right. And so I don't sing so much as just mumble and natter. I think it's called nattering or just sort of diarrhea of the mouth. And that's another term for it.
And you're talking to yourself.
I think so.
Does it help do you listen?
I think so. Sometimes. It's when it gets like this, it's just best to just focus on my legs, get them washed, get out, get on with the day. It's my main focus. Do you not?
What? Oh, do I? Listen, I wash.
Do you not talk to yourself?
Talk to myself or wash my legs?
Do you sing while you wash your legs?
No, I don't. You know what? I think I listen. I listen to the news when I'm in the shower. Usually I'm showering in the morning. And I'll listen to the news while I'm in there. I'll set up.
What kind of news?
You know what? I'll tell you what. I often, before I hit news, I will listen to Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel and
right.
Seth Meyers. I'll listen to their monologues and get a taste of what I'm going to be reading about. But with a humorous take, so that it's just a little easier to process.
Digest. Can I just to throw into the mix there, maybe a white rapper, but go on. Listen to Prof.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I wash my legs, just so you know. I want you to know this, Alan. Wash my legs. I start at the top and kind of make my way down.
Are we talking about your head or your legs? Top of your head?
I start at the top of my head.
Yeah.
And I make my way down the
whole of Nathan.
Yep.
All across this great Nathan.
Yep.
He scrubs.
And once I'm all clean and rinsed off, I say, "Good job, Nate."
To north to south, he covers it all. The deepest crevices, the highest peaks. Yes.
Alan, if you were given a chance to be immortal, would you take it?
Tempting. I'd have to know a lot about it. There's gotta be, you gotta know. Like, am I immortal?
You'll be frozen in time, the exact age you are right now.
Ugh, I can't back it up. Okay, all right.
Would you want to back it up a little bit? Would you want a little more youth?
Sure. Let's go back to Firefly days. I was just like right at 30.
Wow. Okay, so you get to be 30 forever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 34. Let's put you at 34.
Okay.
You're not newly 30. You have a little respect.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm going to have a brain that's older. So,
Now, it's not like vampire immortal, so you don't need blood to survive. You don't have to kill anybody in order to stay.
can I though? Can I? Because that was the perk.
I mean, I guess after enough time, you'd figure out how to commit the perfect crime.
Right. I don't think so, man. I'm gonna pass.
You got
I'm
to
gonna pass. Yeah. How about you?
I feel like I would.
Yeah. I mean,
feel
there's
like
a
I
lot of
would.
opportunity.
I'm just so interested about the future and where things are going. And
According to scientists, we don't have much time.
You keep saying that.
I do. I've noticed they keep saying that. I think that it's, I love this idea of, it's a brief encounter here on the earth, and then we're gone until we are reincarnated in a child that then talks about it to their parents and they don't know how to handle it.
You read those stories?
I watch it on the YouTube.
You watch stuff about like kids speaking languages they never learned. And
Yeah, and they're like, my name's Marilyn. Or like, when I used to be Marilyn, but now I'm Jimmy. And
I've got 4 sisters and 3 brothers, and we used to run a company.
And I jumped off a building when it was on fire. And I saw you from way up high, and I decided to come down and be a mommy's tummy. Can I have some graham crackers? Like, what the hell is up with this kid? But they're able to, they know too much. They know way too much. So I think I think that's definitely one way. I believe in that stuff. I don't know much about it, but I read a book called Many Lives, Many Masters once. And after I put it down, I was like, well, turns out we reincarnate. I guess it just happens.
Do you figure you've been reincarnated? Do you figure maybe you're the first, or?
No. I hope not. I feel like they say you reincarnate with the people that you sort of stay in the same groups, sort of the same posse. So like we would have hung out before in a different lifetime, but we would have been sisters, or I was your father that you shot after you cheated in a card game, you son of a bitch. And then you shot me. How did that happen? But that, that's how, or like Carissa and I've had such a connection to Carissa, and it's just always been that way. From the first time I saw her, which was so long ago, that I was like, oh, her. Like, she was a person that I knew was like me, I could trust her quickly from the jump. Yeah. So and I think that's, I believe, if there is, that would be a good indication of that's probably somebody, maybe from before. I don't want to make this all about a religion or anything, guys. If you believe it or you don't, I just recommend everybody go to YouTube and put creepy kids who have past lives and check them out, make up your own minds. I'm not here to preach to you.
This is a little side note. You said something that reminded me of a wisdom that I've kind of gleaned over my lifetime. Whenever I hear someone say, we're like sisters, I start a little countdown, a little stopwatch in my head until they're mortal enemies.
Even when they're real sisters, that could also be the case.
Anytime I've heard a couple of ladies say, we're like sisters, they are the span of time away from saying, I'll never speak to her.
Do you think that's a female, like the complexity of the female relationships that they have?
I don't know guys.
That's a stop on the way.
Saying, we're like brothers. I don't know men who seek that status.
We just say, bro. You got it, brother. Yeah, you got it, brother. But that's something that I don't give that one out. Now you got to be. There's a tier of brother.
I'm still waiting.
We're at cousin right now. We talked about this.
You said twice removed last time. So if we're a cousin now,
no, we are at first cousins. So it's cool, cuz. Be cool, cuz. Be cool. Yeah,
Alan, I dropped by your house the other day.
Yes.
To pick up the key to the car.
Yeah.
That I lent you. It broke down.
That I broke.
Your construction. We got it back to you. The construction guy destroyed it. No, he just put a little in the front fender.
Yeah, it ran
and
into
then it broke down again.
Yep, did that.
And now it's back to me.
Oh yeah.
And there's no dent in it anymore. There's no dent.
It
It's
seems almost like I'm cursed. What is that? I mean,
It's like you used up all the bad luck in that car for me.
you know, Nathan, there's a thing they say. They sing about this town. It is the Hotel California. You're not allowed to leave. That you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. There is
You're leaving to New York, though.
Yes, I am. I'm leaving, but it keeps like breaking down the car. I'm late
I
to
see. It's
things.
trying to keep you.
It's trying to keep me here. It's like, oh, you could stab it with your steely knife, but you just can't kill the beast. Whatever that means, I can't kill the beast. This is the LA beast. But we're headed. We're checking out. I'm moving out. It's another song I've been listening to, Little Billy Joel.
The point I was going to make was that's the first time I'd been to your house in a little while.
Yes.
And you're in the middle of a move. What a beautiful home. What a beautiful home you have. You're in the middle of a move.
Thank you,
There's a lot of boxes everywhere. But a couple things I noticed was what a home you've made there. Another thing I noticed, your first dog, Raisin, used to be very jumpy, jittery, fearful. That dog has come a very long way.
Well, she's 16 now, so she's like 100 and something. So she's just like, huh? She's a little.
She just never used to kind of volunteer snuggles. She came right over and kind of laid right up against my leg and was just chilling with me for a bit. And Aunt Clara was her usual joyful self. And then your new little one, what's your new one's name?
His name is Maximus.
Maximus.
Canis Maximus.
He, you said he humps that little elephant toy, and he delivered. He did not.
I wish that, we almost called him Maybelline, even though he's a boy, because that lipstick just comes right out. It's like a cosmetics counter over there. He's offering up samples. But I think he learned that from Aunt Clara because she humps him, which it's a dominance thing. I know it's about dominance, but I think only the first 3 thrusts are dominance. And then the next 300 are all mama getting hers. She is just like.
Is Aunt Clara, is she a female? Is that a female dog?
Yeah. Aunt Clara is female. Yeah.
Okay.
She's named after the beloved character on Bewitched because she's a little scrambled eggs. She's a little nuts.
It made me realize that even though you are when we started this, you were in Vancouver, and now you are moving away to New York. I see you more now than I have in a couple of years.
Yeah, man. Because of this. Yeah, we're the getting to know you thing that we do. We're getting to know each other better, even after all this time.
Speaking of, Alan, let's do that. We got to wrap this show up. So let's get to know you better.
I know you and you know me. Let's get to know you better.
Okay, you go first.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
I've got a couple. I've got one it's more of a grievance that you don't know about me. Mm-hmm. And then one is, of course, sort of a story from before you don't know about me. And then one is just some shit. Which one do you want? A, B, or C?
Which will entertain me the most?
I think probably the story. So I don't know if you know this, Nathan, but I was damn near thrown out of my first college. I was very close to being thrown out. By week 2 of my freshman year, I was 18 years old. The entire drama department, we had, when we first got to school, there was a play already on stage. They had already rehearsed it over the summer or something. It was like it was a very small cast. So when we got there, the play happened very fast. And then our job was to strike the set. And as students in the drama department, we had to strike the set. It takes a very long time. And you get done around 3 a.m. And then after that, everybody goes out to the lake and gets wasted and drinks college beer like college people. And then we come back to the college in the morning because we were on a meal plan, and it was a very strict, weird little school called Lon Morris, which is now defunct. Thank the goodness, because it was a weird little school. And you'd get breakfast in the cafeteria. So when we all came back, it had rained and we were all covered in mud. And we all went in all muddy, and we were dancing on the tables, and people were just acting crazy, and we all got in trouble. And we were given, you have 15 points, you get thrown out of school. And we were all given 14 points immediately.
For mud?
Yes, it was a very strict school. And for dancing on tables, we were acting like crazy. So they just immediately gave us the most you could give with just one to spare so that we would be on our P's and Q's for the rest of the time we were in the school, so that, they wanted us to be on our best behavior from week 1. Well, I was through semester 1. And then semester 2, it was the first, one of the first days of spring, and my buddy Davey and I went out to the lake, and we were going to swim the lake. We got out there and got in the water. We were like, I'm not swimming. This is freezing. But we had jumped in the water. And then we went, oh no, it's Sunday. We got to go back to the cafeteria. Again, scene of the crime, cafeteria. Went to the cafeteria. And we didn't have, our shirts were wet. So we took towels, wrapped them around our chests like the ladies do as they get out of the shower. Didn't have shoes or socks on. And we walked into the cafeteria, sat down with our food, very well behaved. And we're eating. And then the president of the college sat down next to us with a bunch of people that he was trying to get him to give money. And we're like, oh my God, this is awful. Finished our food real fast, got out of there. And then we got a call from Mr. Hart, who was he was sort of the cop on campus, and called us to his office late at night and said that we're possibly going to be kicked out of school for that. But I was in this school. This is how crazy the school was. Boys and girls couldn't be in the same place. This is not a school for me, man. And so we needed to go before this panel, this sort of judicial panel, to plead our case, because we could get as much as 15. Anyway, we could get kicked out. I went in there dressed in a polyester suit, it was my dad's from the 70s that I had stolen from him. It was like wide and big lapels. And it was checkered, and it was crazy. And Converse. Davey wore tux tails. Davey was a big dude. He wore tux tails, and he had a basketball shirt under him. I came in with a briefcase, and we come into our court appointed time, and it's just all teachers that we kind of knew sitting behind this table. Some of them did not like me. And I set the briefcase down. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, just like step right up, kind of. I'm putting on a show going, we were told that we were dressed inappropriately, but I want to point your attention to the panel of rules and regulations that this school has. There is nothing in here that says that there is a requirements for the dining hall. So there's nothing to follow. There's no way to break a law if it doesn't exist. And then I was like, also, what were we wearing? Let's review. I pull out a towel from the briefcase. I pull out a towel. Davey, if you would. He takes off his jacket. I hand him a towel. He puts it on over like we had. I'm like, this is how we were wearing our towels. If you could please spin for me, Davey. He turns around. I'm like, as you can see, the shoulders would be visible. Nothing here, nothing here. It goes all the way to the waist. And then, of course, we were wearing shorts. Thank you, Davey. Now, could you please remove the towel for everyone? He takes the towel off. Now, this, as you can see, is a basketball jersey, something you will see in the cafeteria every day. Now, Davey, could you please spin again for me? I'm seeing his nipple. I'm seeing his arm. I'm seeing his side, back. Okay, just the nape of his neck. And now, again, the other nipple, the other arm. As you can see, this is much more revealing than the towel that we used to cover ourselves up, because that's all we had at the time. We didn't cause a problem. We just came in at 8 and we left. Thank you very much. That's our case. And they said, okay, get out. We're going to talk. We're going to discuss. We get out. Mr. Hart's there. Dumbass Mr. Hart. God, that guy, he was such a creep. And he comes out, he comes on, boys, that was great. I'll tell y'all what, that was hilarious. All right, let me just go check with them. I'll be right back out here. And he goes back inside. Now, what they didn't know is I had a little tape recorder that I put in my briefcase. And I left my briefcase in the room because I wanted to hear what they had to say about our little presentation.
Alan, that's diabolical.
I feel like that's something you would do, man. So what we heard on the tape player after we got done was Mr. Hart comes in, he's like, well, I think you can all see that's the type of hijinks that these bozos have got themselves up to at all times. They can't learn, they're smart asses. And just like fucking slagged us off and was basically saying, they're done, cook them. And the teachers were like, we have more important things than this. There's no rule that they broke. How can we break rule? Even a teacher, I'm like, oh God, she's going to grill me. She was like, I thought it was entertaining. I don't know what to tell you. This seems like not something that we should be dealing with. And they gave us they gave us work requirements. We had like hours that we had to work off where we had to pick up trash around the campus and we had to put signs up. We had to put signs up where the teachers could park and stuff. Anyway, I learned a little bit about Mr. Hart that day. And I was very happy to hear my other teachers that I had just assumed didn't like me were, sticking up for me. It was nice. And we got off and I got to stay in college.
Wow.
Yeah, that was me at 18, man.
Wow.
Did you know that? You didn't know that.
No.
The scary, I mean, the thing for me as a kid, like there was the first week of school, I had to call my parents and go, hey, I might be kicked out of school until they let me stay. And then again, I had to call in second semester and go, I might be kicked out of school again. That was the hard part of that lesson for my parents were just like, Jesus fucking Christ, this kid. That's where maybe the black sheep idea came from me.
You were a handful, Alan.
I was.
You were such a handful.
I was, I didn't know when to stop. I think this was the thing people kept saying.
That's so much better than my get to know you. I really didn't.
There's no winner or this isn't a contest.
That's just so cool. The whole thing about being up in front of a panel.
With Davey, man. Davey was, god dang, man. I got lots of stories about Davey.
And it didn't end there. Like, he comes out and he's giving you all this face, all this support. Oh, guys, that was great. That was so wonderful. Just give me a second here. Get these bozos out.
Yeah,
and you were recording him. You exposed him. Oh, my God. That kills me. That's a movie. If it happened in a movie, I would think, this is strange credulity. But this is your life.
Yeah, he drove around an old, what was it? Some old 50s car with a Q-beam that he put on it so it looked like a cop. He was such a jackass.
Illegal.
Couldn't be trusted. Huh?
That's illegal.
Not in a small town of Jacksonville. Everybody knows Les Hart.
Okay.
Come on. He's a good old boy. We know that.
All right.
He's one of us.
Here's something for you. I told you when I was a younger man, I told you I had the Yamaha Townie, the little scooter. My little 2-speed scooter my conveyance. It was my vehicle. And in the summertime, I'm in high school. In the summertime, it meant freedom to me. But I also wasn't rolling in dough. I didn't have like a bunch of spending money. And as cheap as that little thing was on gas, I think it cost like $1.40 to fill it.
Right. And that's in Canadian money.
And that's Canadian money. That's like monopoly money to you folks. But sometimes I would be like, I'm out of gas. And there was like a little reserve tank. So if you ran out of gas, you could flip this switch and you knew you had a few miles left. Well, I would switch it to reserve when I ran out of gas. And I would go around to gas stations that were closed. And I would just manipulate the hose so that from where it came out of the pump, I would hold it up high. So if there was any gas left in the hose, it would drain out. I would be holding it with one hand and manipulating it with the other. And I would go around to every hose and try to get as much gas as I possibly could.
I so hope people saw you do that. I could just see.
I mean, if they were closed.
Here he comes. He's going to do it again. God damn, that's sad.
But I would go from gas station to gas station to gas station. I do it like 3 or 4 gas stations. Like quite a workout. Those hoses are heavy, and you're trying to manage the nozzle on one side and the hose on the other. But that's how I would put kind of enough gas.
Animal husbandry, but it's that's
handling the hose.
Yeah, you gotta get the last drops out.
But that would. I don't know, it was miles. It was miles and miles on the little Yamaha Townie.
It's nice that you didn't you were an honest kid. That's an honest kid just trying to find, get by. Like somebody like a troublemaker would maybe just go siphon some gas out of somebody's car. That's a troublemaker.
My dad told me stories. My dad had a friend whose parents would buy him gas, and they would sneak over to his house and siphon gas out of this guy's tank, and for his car. And he'd be like, "Oh my God, my car's so bad on gas."
Because they deemed it okay to steal for him because he was getting it for free anyway. And it's really is.
I'm going to tell you a little story about my dad that'll tell you kind of what kind of guy he was. he was a younger man. He was working on a road crew in Edmonton. And he would kind of training to be like a manager or a foreman of this road crew. And while he was in training, some contractor from some other place came and my dad's marking down on a clipboard, you know, what they're buying from these guys as far as product and whatnot goes. And he goes, oh, listen, we brought, 3 truckloads of sand. And even though you only used 1 truckload, you still have to pay for those other 2. And my dad goes, oh, okay. And he wrote that down. He was just starting. He didn't know. And then his foreman who's training him goes, what are you doing? We don't pay for truckloads of sand we don't use. What are you doing? And my dad was, looked like a jerk. And he looked over at that fella who told him to mark it down. And that guy was going, like laughing like he got one over on my dad. Now, my dad doesn't forget easily. Cut to, I don't know how much time later, but now my dad is, the manager, the foreman of this construction site. And if they were digging out a part of the road and fixing pipes underneath and doing their thing, if it would rain, it was my dad's job to say, it's not that much water, just drain it off and finish the job. Or he'd say, it's too much water, dig it all up and start again. Mm-hmm. So my dad takes a look at this pit after a rain. And it's the other fella, it was the guy with the truckloads of sand. It was his construction site taking care of this thing. And he goes, it's too much water, dig it up and start again. And the guy goes, what? Come on, it's not very, what are you talking about? It's just a little bit, we just drained that off. We could finish this up. He goes, hey, either you do it or I get another crew in here to do it. He goes, oh God. So this is back in the 60s. There's no cell phones or anything. Now this guy has to go to a phone booth and call someone from his office to go and get other guys and other equipment from other jobs. Like it's not an easy feat to, to coordinate something like this. And all these trucks and all these guys and all the equipment come and they dig it all up again and they have to start all over and they're doing this. They put down the asphalt and some concrete. They're just steamrolling it over and they're just finishing it off. And my dad comes up to that same fella and he goes, that's for the sand. Right? Jesus. And the guy goes, oh God. Like you could just see him saying, this, I am a victim of my own making. This guy got me.
Your father's still alive. He didn't plot his demise or anything like that.
No. But that's my dad's idea of do not mess with me.
Wow. He bides his time. He has patience. So that was a getting to know you father edition.
That was, yeah. Get to know me. This is, my stock. That's where I come from. My lineage. We're like sisters. Start a little stopwatch in my mind. Let's see how long this takes. Alan, always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure.
You too, brother. Hey, you too. Hey, you brother. You got brothered. Look at that. It just was natural.
This happened. You got promoted just now.
Yeah, man. Really nice. Thank you for having me to your home.
Oh yeah. I'll see you in a second.
Okay, yeah. I'll see you in the hallway.
Start the music. Well, you made it all the way to the end credits. Thank you for listening to Once We Were Spacemen. Remember, you can always head over to our Patreon for bonus content, longer episodes, and a chance to take home some incredible crap. If you loved the show, please leave us a review and tell your friends. If you didn't love the show, keep it to yourself. This podcast is a Collision 33 production. Specifically, we are produced by Michelle Chapman, Siobhan Homan, and Josh Levy. All the recording and post services are handled by Rabid Grin Productions, and our theme music is by the brilliant Carlos Sosa and Joshua Moore. And as always, our artwork was created by Louis Jensen. We'll see you next time.